Good morning, my wonderful grade 2s and 3s. I am so glad that you're checking in this beautiful Monday for some math. So, I would like you to get your math book, get yourself organized, and get started with me. I've already filmed the part where we do the work, and I can tell you it's a good one. I had a lot of fun making this one. I'm trying to make math more fun, the stuff I'm sending home more fun. So this week I've included something fun on Monday and Wednesday to get you started on your math. So it's nothing to take too seriously, it's a mashup. Then we're going to do our daily math. I have a word problem that comes from my real life. And, oh, that's your ELA. And then on the other side, we're going to be practicing our ones facts. I'll talk you through it. I'll hold your hand every step of the way. We are going to rock this week. This is going to be a great week of home learning. I'm so grateful that you're here and you're following along with me. Remember, I'm always here if you need me. I'm on Teams and Class Dojo and even in email. Get a hold of me if you just want to share your work or say hi. Check into the group chat on Teams. I do check in every morning. I've started putting our morning meeting posts there too, so you can always find what you need. Okay, let's get started. Math brains on. All right, guys, we are here for more math. I'm trying something a little different this week. I had been putting math warm-ups up on Teams, but I don't think people are seeing them, and that's just, it's not fitting with the way we're learning right now. So now I'm going to start each lesson with a little warm-up, something fun. I realize that we're not having a lot of fun with our math, and you can't learn without fun. It's not possible. Well, you can, but it's just you don't learn as well without fun. So let's do a little bit of something fun, and I have been in communication with the program leader for math for our school division, and I get the impression that we are doing exactly what we need to be doing, so we should be okay with having some fun. All right? We're right where we need to be. So let's have some fun. Pause this video, try it out. If it starts to become not fun, i.e. you're stressed out and you don't know what to do, press play and work through it with me. If you can solve it by yourself, then you can just tune in for the answer. Whatever works for you and where you're at. Don't stress. Math is about a little bit of struggle, but not a lot of stress, okay? Whew. I'm excited about math. I'm excited to do math with you today. All right, so I'm gonna start. Again, pause it and try it on your own because I think you could do this. Actually, I know you could do it. But again, if it's stressful, that's why I'm here to work through it with you. Okay, owl plus owl. Well, what double makes 2? 1 plus 1 is 2. Raccoon plus pig is 17. Now, I know what the owl is. That's my easy one. That's like my key to solving it. But I don't know what these are yet. I could make some good some good guesses. Like I know different ways to make 17. But let's move on to here because I do know this one. So if I know this one, I could figure out the raccoon and then I could figure out this one up here for sure. Like I know that I could think of many different combinations, but this key, this 1 plus 1 is 2, is gonna help me solve the rest of the puzzle. So I go down, I know this is 1, so something subtract 1 is 13. Now, in algebra, we just do the opposite on the other side of the equal sign. So 13 plus 1 is gonna tell me my unknown number. So you can solve, this is my unknown number here. I can solve that on the other side of the equal sign by just doing the opposite. So this says to subtract 1. If I add 1, it's going to give me my mystery number. So 13 plus 1 is 14. Now 14 subtract 1 is 13. So that works. All right, we've figured out that, I think it's a raccoon. I think I said fox, but I think it's a raccoon. All right, so now I know 14. Oh, I should put 1 here. We still need to figure out the piggy though. So 14 subtract 1 is 13. I know this one. I've solved this one. So my mystery is coming into focus. 14 plus something is 17. Now we just do the opposite on the other side of this equal sign. So here I'm adding something to 14 to get to 17. I'm going to subtract 14 or find the difference between 14 and 17, and that will tell me what this piggy is worth. So let's start at 14 and we're going to count up to 17. So 14, 15, 16, 17. How many did I count up? I counted up 3, so my piggy is worth 3. And now to solve my last part of the puzzle, 1 plus 3 is 4. Solved it! Now let's move on to the next smash up. So this, I think, is my key. It's a double. Doubles are easy to figure out because you know that both of these numbers are the same and you know your doubles. So what double equals 16? Always look for doubles in these puzzles. What double equals 16? Right, 8 plus 8. So now I know my book is worth 8. All right, so I'm gonna go to all my books and I'm gonna write 8. Now that I've figured that out, I get to use that information to solve other equations and other mystery numbers. Well, I know that I could solve this one now because I have 2 of the numbers and I can figure out the mystery number quite easily. So something subtract 8 is 2. To figure out what the light bulb is worth, instead of subtracting 8, we need to add it back on the other side. So 2 plus 8. What's 2 plus 8? Right, it's 10. Now, let's check to make sure it's right. 10 subtract 8. Oh, that's 2. Perfect. That's exactly it. So 10 subtract 8 is 2. Hooray, we solved the mystery. Now that we've solved the light bulb, we can put 10 up here. So now we know pencil plus light bulb is 13. Pencil plus 10 is 13. What is pencil worth? So again, it's adding on this side. All we have to do is do the opposite on the other side of the equation to figure out what that mystery number is. So this is something plus 10 is 13. So 13 subtract 10 is going to tell us what that pencil's worth. 13 subtract 10 is 3. 3 plus 10 is 13. Yes! Solved it! Now my last thing to solve is a simple addition because I miswrote there. It's 3. I could hear people going, no, it's not 13. So now I know 3 plus 8, because pencil is 3 and book is 8. 3 plus 8 is going to give me my mystery, my question mark. So 3 plus 8, so you can add using any strategy. I'm going to use count up. 8, 9, 10, 11. Or maybe you know that fact. Fantastic. Good for you. If you don't know that fact, maybe practice some addition facts. Makes this whole math thing a lot easier. 3 plus 8 is 11. I have solved my mashups. Now, let me know if you like that as a warm-up. You could just put a smiley face if you like doing some mashups, because that's something we can do every week if you'd like. I love mashups. And I think it's very valuable to have that little bit of a mystery that makes your mind work. So let me know how you like the mashup with a little smiley face or not smiley face, and I will, if there's lots of people that like them, I'm going to add them to our work because I think they're fun. And congratulations, you just did algebra. All right, on to our math for the day. Now that we've done our warm-up, I'm going to move on to our daily math. So it says, what number comes next? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Do you notice what we're counting by? We've been practicing this pattern. 3, listen carefully, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, we're working on 3s. What comes next if you're counting by 3? 18. The pattern rule is increase or add, you could also say add, by 3 or add 3. That's all it is. Okay, now it's asking me, which number sentence has the same answer as 14 subtract 7? Now, ding, 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 that is a double, and I know there were a lot of people who've been practicing their math facts and just knew. As soon as they heard that, they knew the answer had to be 7, because 14 subtract 7 is 7. I don't know why that's in brackets. I'm going to write it out here. 14 subtract 7 is 7. So now we have to look at each of these and decide which one has a total of 7. Well, 6 and 2 is 8. It's not 6 and 2. 10 subtract 5 is 5. It's not that one. It has to total 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know why I'm saying that today, but I like it. 14 subtract 7 is 7. All right, next one. What is the missing number? Oh, we just did a whole bunch of these. It's just like mashup. So pretend this is a mashup and you could probably solve it right away. So something plus 4 is 12. Again, on this side, we added. So if we subtract 4 from 12, that'll tell us what's on this side of the equation. So 12 subtract 4 is 8. Okay, so 8 plus 4 is 12. Let's check it out. 8, let's count up. 9, 10, 11, 12. Woohoo, we got it. Now, number 4. Is this a growing, a shrinking, or a repeating pattern? So let's look. I'm going to put the numbers there. That might help you. I think it looks like it's growing, but let's just look at the numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8. Ooh, it is a growing pattern. And you guys, when I read those numbers, it's a growing pattern. It's growing by how many each time? Right, by 2. It's growing by 2s. Okay, number 5. What is the next number if the rule is subtract 4? Don't panic. You're going 41 subtract 4. I can't do that in my head. Could you do 11 subtract 4? Because it's the same thing. I'm going to show you how. 11 subtract 4, let's count back. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, 11 subtract 4 is 7. So 41 subtract 4 is going to be 37. Don't believe me? Let's start at 37 and count up. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Ding, 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 ding. You are correct. Now, I have been looking for good word problems for you guys because I love practicing word problems. Actually, when I was your age, I did not love practicing word problems. I did not really care if Jane had more marbles than Jim, but I now see as a teacher how important it is to practice these word problems because they help you strengthen your math understanding. So I went and I looked at my resources and I thought my students aren't gonna love this. So I have made up one that is actually happening in my house right now. So my son is really into Pokemon Go. It's a game. And it's a game where you can't play it in the house. You have to play it walking around in real life. You have to get outside and go to all sorts of places. And right now, we can't go to a lot of places and do a lot of things, but this is something we can do that gets him interested in going out and exploring and doing things. And it's pretty safe right now, so that's good. So George wants to walk to hatch some Pokemon eggs. So in the game, you collect eggs and you have to hatch them by walking. Or it doesn't work in the car. You have to walk or ride your bike. But George can't really ride his bike very far yet, so we're going to use walking. George wants to walk to hatch some Pokemon eggs. If he has to walk 2 kilometers to hatch 1 egg, how many kilometers does he have to walk to hatch 7 eggs? Again, some eggs you have to walk farther, but right now George has 7 eggs on his game, okay? And this weekend he wants to hatch all 7 eggs. So how far does he have to walk this week to hatch all 7 eggs? So 2 kilometers for 1 egg, and he has to hatch 7 eggs. So you have to do 2 times 7, okay? Actually, it might make more sense if I write it as 7 times 2, and you guys know that that's the same thing. For every egg that George hatches, and he has 7, he has to walk 2 kilometers. So 7 times 2. Okay? Now think of our fact family and think of repeated addition. If you're like, I don't know, 7 times 2. You could count, so 2 strategy times 2, you can count by 2s 7 times. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay? You could also double 7. 7 and 7 is 14. And you could, if you are more comfortable using repeated addition, you could have just done 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could have done repeated addition too. That's another way to solve this. And we could go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. George has to walk 14 kilometers to hatch all of those eggs. And, you know, that's going to be a lot for him. It's a good thing that I often have to pull him in the wagon. So I guess it's going to be a lot for me. Anyway, 14 kilometers, and you could totally do that in a weekend if you really put your mind to it. All right, let's go to the next page. So we are going to be practicing the 1 times facts. Now you might be saying, why are we practicing the 1 times facts? It's part of your learning in grade 3, and my grade 2s, you guys are along for the grade 3 ride because you can totally do this. So it's a good learning for grade 2 too. So grade 2 and grade 3, this is a good thing to practice. Now, if you see anything times 1, you're going to once you know this rule, you're going to know it. So it doesn't matter what the number is. You're going to be able to, when you see 1 times, you're going to understand what it means. That's going to take the stress away from this math fact. When you know a math fact, it makes math so much easier. So this is, you might be saying, but I know my 1 times table. I need to officially teach you this rule because I know it's important, and there's going to be some people who are going to need to learn this rule this way. If you don't need to learn this rule, you already know it, you can do this on your own and you are done for the day. Actually, you can do this on your own, and then you can go to the Daily 10 website and give yourself a quiz for some other facts. If you are still learning this, let's do the lesson. And so that is cool because that's exactly where you have to be. Now, the rule for ones. One group of a number is always just that number. There's actually no adding. So I always say multiplication is repeated addition, but it's not really. It kind of is. Let me explain. Don't confuse them, Mrs. Oakes. So look at 1 times 2. That's the same as 1 plus 1, which is 2. 1 times 4 is the same as 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. But do you see how it doesn't make sense to write that out every time? And I'm writing really small, so I'm going to zoom in. Now this one, 3 times 1 is the same as 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1, 2, 3. 1 times 10 is the same as 10 ones, which is 10. 1 times 9 is the same as 1 plus 1 9 times, which is 9. 8 times 1 is 8, one group of 8. 5 times 1 is the same as 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now instead of writing that out every time, we just write 5 times 1. So that's saying I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, or I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 1. Okay? 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. It doesn't matter if they're flipped, guys. It does not matter if they're flipped because it's still 1. Okay, 10 times 1 is 10. And we've already learned the commutative property. We already know it does not matter what order our equation's written. It's still it's still the same rule. So 2 times 1, 1 times 2, those are 2 different ways to write the same thing. It's not like English where your words have to be in a specific order to make sense. For multiplication, the order that the numbers are coming in the equation doesn't matter. You know that the fact's the same whether it's 2 times 1 or 1 times 2. They both equal 2. And we practice that a lot. It's an important thing to remember though. 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. 9 times 1 is 9. And we did 1 times 9, 9 times 1, they're the same. 1 times 9, 1 times 9 times 1, same. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 6 is 6. When you multiply a number by 1, the answer is always the other number in the equation. In the multiplication sentence. Okay, so could you use what you know about multiplying 1 to solve these problems? You bet your boots you can. You got this, kids. So what you have to do, you might be going, 10,000? I don't even know how to read 10,000. Well, you do. It's right here, 10,000. Let's go through and multiply these big numbers by 1. And I'm going to show you, does not matter what the number is. I could give you 75 million times 1 and you would know the answer, even though you're thinking, 75 million, Mrs. Oakes, that is not a grade 2 and 3 number. Well, this is a grade 2 and 3 rule that has opened up all those numbers for you. So 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. You know this rule, you know it's correct. Don't second guess it, you know it. 1 times 2,002 is 2,002. Oh, look at that, you just did it. 12 times 1 is 12. 32 times 1 is 32. 10,000 times 1 is 10,000. Now in Canada, this is, I believe, it must be an American resource. In Canada, we do not put the comma there, so I'm not going to. 10,000, okay? We don't put the comma and we don't put the space, we just write it. And I know that some other math resources will have that there. Don't worry about the comma. This is a comma, this little mark. We don't actually use those. So 10,000. 133 times 1 is 133. 1 times 210 is 210. 1 times 56 is 56. And 456 times 1 is 456. You did it. You can do it. You could ask anybody. If anyone asks you anything times 1, you now know how to answer that question correctly and with confidence because you know this rule. Okay, it's an important rule. Now it's asking, and this is the part I want you guys to do on your own. It's asking you to draw an array to represent each multiplication sentence. Actually, yeah, you can do this very simply. Okay, and so this is 1 times 10 and this is 5 times 1. I'm gonna do one over here for 6 times 1. Just to show you, okay? I'm doing 6 times 1 over here because I want to see you guys do this. I want to see you do this and you send me a picture of it so I know you're getting it. But I'm just going to do an example just in case anyone's still confused. So 6 times 1 is 6 and I'm just going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is an array for 6 times 1. I have 6 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if I look at it that way, or 1 6. I don't need to do anything else. That is all I need to worry about, okay? Now, this is all your math for today. If you need more, okay? If you need more, and I know that there's some people who are gonna finish this math and say, whew, that's what I can handle today. And there's gonna be some people who are gonna finish this math and they're gonna be so pumped about math, they're gonna wanna go and do more. If that's you, awesome, okay? Here's my suggestion for today. Now you can visit the Daily 10 website and give yourself a quiz for 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, or 5 times facts. This will help you see where you need to practice. Now if you're working at home with a sibling, you can both do this at the same time. You go to this website and you can select from the menu that you want to practice multiplication level 1, okay? And then, actually, you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit to this video to explain how this works. I'm gonna do this on my screen and talk you through step by step how you want to do this. And I'm gonna post a video of that on my YouTube channel. So if you are looking for, if you want to do this and you're not sure how to do it, check today's post. I will have put a link to a video explaining how to set yourself up with a Daily 10, okay? Because that is a really good tool right now. You don't need to have anyone from your family helping you. You could do this if you have a device that it'll work on, and you will give yourself a multiplication quiz or an addition quiz or whatever fact you're trying to practice. You can give yourself a quiz on whatever math fact you want to practice every day. And think of how strong and how amazing your math facts are going to get if you practice them every day or every English day or once a week. I don't care. Just practice them whenever you can. All right, so check out my YouTube channel for a video explaining how to do that. See, that wasn't so bad. Okay, so if you need the video for how to do a Daily 10, check it out. I'm going to have the link in today's class meeting post. Once you figure it out, it's going to be super easy. I just know that usually I do it sometimes before you guys are even in the class. Some of you have seen me do it and set it up, probably know how to do it, but it's easiest if I just go through the steps. So the video is there if you need it. I highly recommend doing some Daily 10 today or sometime this week. I also know that you might be maxed out for now, and that's okay. Put the Daily 10 away in your mind as something you could do on another day, perhaps. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful that you came to do some math with me, and I will see you hopefully on Wednesday for more math.